Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Divya and today I wanted to talk to you about the art of repetition. Here's the thing, I feel like as a society, we are becoming more and more impatient. We start something, whether it is a business or a social media account, and then weeks go by and we already are expecting to reap results and become successful in that thing that we just started. And if a month goes by without any result, we conclude that this is not the thing for us. We move on to the next thing and we repeat this cycle over and over again. I think that this behavior is kind of unreasonable from us and very unrealistic too, because we all know all good things take time. Rome was not built in a day. You know what? I blame it all on social media because I feel like with social media, we kind of see the tip of the iceberg, right? We see those people that have just blown up and risen to fame in a day and had success overnight. And we feel like this is the new normal. And then we compare it to our own situation and we feel very frustrated with our slow journey. When in reality, we are only seeing their end result. We don't know how long they have been going at it. We don't know how long they have been hustling and actually refining that skill that has taken them to the next level. Maybe it's been years, but it's been behind the scenes, and so we don't see it, we don't consider it, and we think that it all happened overnight. When you look at people like, I don't know, Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy, for instance, you might feel like she has had this like instant fame and instant success, right? Because it all just seems to be happening so fast for her. When in reality, when you listen at her story, she explains how like even when she was a teenager, she was just so obsessed with making home videos and she would spend hours editing. And all those hours compounded into what she is today and made her the expert that she is in the field today. The point is, just because you were not aware of that part of their life, just because you did not see their day one, doesn't mean that it didn't exist. Can you imagine if, let's say Beethoven did not have the patience that he's had at that time to continue on what was probably just a hobby for him and abandon just because he couldn't get his finger placements right on the piano? Today we would not have his music, and that would be a shame. Do you see what I mean? It's only because he did not move on to the next thing. It's only because he chose to put in the time and the reps that today he is what he is. This year, I had the pleasure to go on an art retreat in Vietnam with Bill Bensley. And if you don't know him, he's one of the most renowned hotel architects and designer in the world. And truly, his hotels are works of art. Like, I cannot really explain what it is about it, but they are so unique. They're so like detail oriented and they make you travel in time. It's really an insane experience that I really hope that you get to experience one day. But basically, his background and his career is all around architecture and design, but his passion is really art and painting. And through this weekend, we got to talking with him quite a lot and get to know him. And it was so interesting because he only started painting when COVID hit, which was just a few years back. And today he's already a very known name in the space. And I thought it was quite crazy that in a matter of just a few years, you could go through literally zero to someone, in that kind of like field. And he was telling us more about it and how like, he would just be very obsessed with painting, and every single opportunity that he would have, he would just be at it. And I was like, well, you must have been quite talented to begin with, because now seeing his paintings, it feels like he's been doing it for a lifetime. And it was very surprising when he was telling us that in the beginning it was quite of a struggle even for him, because some things that he was picturing in his mind, he could not really like put it down on paper the same exact way, which is, I think we can all relate on that when we're trying to paint something and it really does not look like what we were picturing in our heads. Anyways, it was such an incredible experience, not only because we learned a lot about art and painting itself, but also because we got to spend a lot of time with him and he's such an inspiring person. And what I was really fascinated about was that he would never stop drawing and painting. And I mean it when I said never. Like, we would be on the bus, he would be drawing. We would be at lunch, he would be like scribbling something on a napkin. He would be like on a boat, we're going somewhere to visit like a monument, he is drawing and painting. At dinner, same. He never stopped. And by the time like a day ended and we would have probably gotten like 5 drawings, he had made 25. And I'm not even like kidding, that was the amount of drawings he could do like during the day. And I got to thinking, if one day he can just like do 25 over a week, that is like a crazy number. And over a month, that is even more. And over a year, he is just way ahead of everyone. There's no way anyone can beat him at this point. And after that weekend, yes, I learned a lot about painting and I do enjoy some watercolor in my spare time. But what I really realized, and what was kind of like, I guess, life changing a bit for me, was that if I ever wanted to be good and successful at something, there was no other way that putting it in the reps. And really, it makes sense, right? It's only if you're doing something over and over and over again that you get to refine that skill, you get to be better at that skill. And one day you can be somewhat of an expert in that field. But because of the world that we're living right now, where on social media we're constantly fed this idea that people are just rising to fame overnight and getting instant success for their business, we think that we're entitled to the same, when in reality we have not put a quarter of the time and a quarter of the reps that they have. So it's just really unrealistic for us to have those type of expectations. I think it was a month ago where I went to this dinner and I met this very successful YouTuber, and we had this little chat, and he was super insightful because I asked him what would be like 2 tips that I could implement on my side to really level up my YouTube game. And he was basically saying how, like, right now I am just publishing 1 video a week. So at the end of the year, I only have 52 videos to look back on, and 52 videos to kind of like give me clues on what I should be working on more specifically. Whereas if I did a video a day, then after 1 month, I would have 30 videos to look back on. So much more clues as to the topics that I should be focusing on, what my audience likes more, but also I would get much more comfortable in front of the camera and I would be refining my editing skills. And I was just mind blown by this little tip. Although for me, I don't know if I can do 1 video a day, like filming and editing. I feel like it will be a lot of work, but I can definitely work my way up to maybe 3 videos a week. Let's see, maybe that's going to be happening in January. But at the end of the day, when you look at all the top performers of all time in the different fields, no one became a legend overnight. The point is, there is no shortcuts in life. There are no cheat codes to living a great life. If you want to be great at something and be known for that thing, then you need to embrace the art of repetition. If you want success that is going to last you a lifetime, then there is no secret. You need to put in the time, the effort, and the reps. That's the only way that it's going to work. And yes, maybe some people did have an overnight success story, and good for them, but what percentage are we talking about? It's probably just 1%. And did that success last a long time? I'm not sure. Anyways, this video is meant as a reminder for you that all great things take time. I want you to take a few minutes and think about that thing that you really want to improve next year, right? And if it's really important to you, then you need to set aside time. You need to make it a priority, because it's only by putting in the time, the effort, and the reps that you'll become better at that, whatever that may be, whether it is a workout, a hobby, or a specific skill at work, right? So yeah, that is it for today's video. It's a little bit different of a video than usually, but I think it's more like inspirational or kind of like a reminder type of video. But I just wanted you to keep that in mind, especially entering this new year. Very often we have this habit of overestimating what we can achieve in a year and underestimating what we can actually accomplish in 5 years time. And that is, I think, a lot attributed to the fact that we think that we are entitled to so much more that we actually deserve compared to the amount of time that we decide to put in whatever field. So if you are starting a new skill, a new workout, or something new in general in 2025, do not expect to become an expert by the end of the year. That's not how it works. It takes so much more time than what you think, and that is normal. That is part of the process. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your time and attention. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon for another one.